Hello.
just hello, like, yeah.
We're back. After a 6 months hiatus again, after the last time we promised we'd get back into it, we're getting back into it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is episode, 33?
I think so.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep. This is the podcast, H.A.B. podcast, where we are a couple of guys living life. But you forgot. Being. What are we being? What are we?
You tell me what we're being.
Hater, ass,
Bitches.
bitches.
It sounds like you're being a bitch right now.
That's crazy. You are fucking a bitch. Anyway.
Hell yeah. Here's the thing. Moment of silence for Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Woo! Woo! So obviously today we're getting into the conversation about Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah. First off,
Obviously.
real quick. Tyrese 317. Pacers. As of recording, they're playing Game 7 tomorrow.
Exactly. 7-Eleven.
This will impact my mental health.
Hell yeah. 7-Eleven. My birthday was born on 7-Eleven. No, I'm just kidding. My birthday was born on 7-7. Ha! Pacers in 7. Hell yeah. Definitely recording late at night. So definitely apologize if we get on our normal tangents, but you guys already know how we are, so it's fine.
And if you don't know how we are, welcome
Welcome in
to the show.
Talking about men's mental health awareness. Obviously, the Pacers.
Yes.
Obviously, some breaking news tonight here in America. Some stuff that our president decided to do apparently.
Yeah, Iran. Let's go into another war. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy to me.
the U.S. bombed 3 nuclear sites in Iran. He run, she run, high run, USA and 5.
Yeah. It is crazy though to think about what's the world is coming to though. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see how it turns out.
absolutely. We'll see what happens, but
Yep. But yeah, we're doing this podcast for men's mental health awareness. And June is. Did I say that?
Mm-hmm.
June is Men's Mental Health. June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, which also is on the back of May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the the moment of silence was in reference to a very viral video where a woman said, "Let's take a moment of silence for men's mental health," and then she started making a bunch of noises right away.
Yeah,
then she
was like
basically
dancing.
she was like, "Woo woo,"
And the song was like a bunch of like police sirens, almost kind of, or not police sirens, but like sirens you'd hear in like a dance club.
Yep.
And then she got absolutely fried.
She got fried, and which we're not condoning, of course,
Yeah.
but she got doxxed, which people now know where she lives.
Yeah, which is completely crazy.
Yeah.
Like she definitely doesn't deserve all that.
Right,
But also,
it's a valuable lesson to know that just because we have the First Amendment right to say whatever we want, the internet does not give a fuck. The internet is a psychotic place where people will literally turn, like the meme that I always like is like, if you say I like oranges, you'll have people asking you why you hate bananas. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like there's no fucking civil discourse on the internet. So like, you may have opinions. Just be careful on what you post on the internet. And people put their whole entire fucking lives on the internet. So, but social media is also a major form of mental health as well.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. Because a lot of times people get on Instagram and they compare themselves. And, you know, I think for me, like, it started when I got into bodybuilding and I started seeing all these bodybuilders, which I didn't know. Like, when I first got into true, like, bodybuilding, I didn't realize how rampant steroids were in the industry. And so I'm seeing all these jack dudes talk about how they started real young and, like, even reading Arnold's. You know, because back then I wanted to be a bodybuilder. And I think I do want to step on stage at some point again, just because, like, it would be cool to be as big as I am now and then cut down. But it was just kind of wild to see, like, it really impacted me because, like, mentally I was like, man, all these guys are jacked. And I started late. I started when I was like 20 or 18 or whatever, lifting, like, towards this stuff. And I just started real late. And I've never been consistent with, like, the diet and anything like that. So, like, it fucked me up, but then you learn about steroids. So it's like, yeah, you're doing steroids and shit, which help. You know what steroids are, but still, it's just like, yeah. So, be careful with social media, for sure. For sure. But, anything you want to add to that? I'm going to look up some statistics.
I don't know, I thought that was a pretty random rant that you just went on about social media.
I was talking about how social media can impact people's mental health by comparison. Comparison is a fucking major thing that we do in this world based on social media.
It's like nothing you talked about had anything to do with comparisons. You talked about comparisons, but then you were talking about being careful what you put on social media.
Well, we were talking about the girl. Yeah, because you have to be careful.
You're not
but
wrong.
Also, with social media can affect your mental health because people compare.
Well, absolutely, you compare yourself to other people.
That's what I'm
in reality,
saying.
Social media only shows the good parts of people's lives.
Yes. Like, I just watched this movie today where this mom asked her daughter how she was doing, and she was like, in real life, I'm unhappy and my kids are shit and I'm a single mom and blah, blah, blah. But on my Instagram, I'm happy and life is great. My kids are fantastic. And it's like, damn. So, okay. Man, that was a fucking rant. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like talked about 4 different topics.
All right, whatever. I mean, I was just going to look.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm pointing out to you. But I also think, too, that goes into an interesting topic about men's mental health, right? Mm-hmm. You know, something I kind of was thinking about earlier today was the fact of that video of that girl putting out there about mental health awareness and correct, you know, the thing we were talking about. And
I'm gonna find it.
And one of the biggest people who a lot of like feminists or people in general, use, and I know we're both big fans of her as well, is Brene Brown. Mm-hmm. And
professional crush for me.
I don't know about all that, but Brene Brown's pretty dope.
No, I'm saying like professional crush. Like, it's not an attraction to how she looks.
I'm aware.
It's an attraction to the profession.
And somebody you respect in regards to the profession. I know what you're saying.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know about that because I do like Brene Brown and I'm a fan, but also I think too sometimes it kind of drives me nuts a little bit. But one of the biggest things, like one of the big things that really got Brene Brown off the ground in social work and mainstream was her TED Talk about vulnerability. Mm-hmm. And even for her, like her biggest point of vulnerability that she studied, and what really turned her study on vulnerability like kind of on its head was she recognized that she was only studying women and not men.
Yep.
And that was one of the things that really showed her how important vulnerability is that, like, for us as men, you know, a lot of times we do have to, you know, I think the example she uses in that TED Talk is that the guy told her that, you know, his wife and his kids would rather see him die on his white horse than to see him fail or see him struggle. And I think a lot of times as men in general, we are held to that standard, you know. And I think, you know, we can discuss and have the open, you know, discussion and the points of, you know, like white privilege, male privilege, all those kind of things are, you know, they're real, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing we have to remember is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month is for all men.
Yep.
Gay men.
Yep.
Black, Hispanic, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's not. This isn't just white men's mental health awareness month. This is all men's mental health awareness month. And I know Tyler keeps pulling up videos of.
I'm trying to find the one video if I can give them a channel reference. I was going to Joey Swoll. I know he's got it.
Yeah, isn't it?
Because he shit on her hard.
Yeah.
He probably fucking deleted it. Oh, here it is. So if you can see.
Yeah, the camera's all the way back there. Yeah.
So yeah, it just says
go lay down.
It just says me when it's time to take a moment of silence for men's mental health.
Yes.
And that she clearly is.
Yeah, make that super loud when this year. Good idea.
I thought it was a great idea. Yeah.
But no, like I said, you know, that I think that's something that gets lost sometimes when discussions like this are happening is, you know, you know, at least for me, I completely understand, you know, why, you know, for us as both being white males, straight males, right, that we are the privileged, quote unquote, privileged group, right, because of generational trauma and everything of that nature. But I think at the same time, you know, trying to discredit Men's Mental Health Awareness Month is also discrediting the LGBTQ community, the men who fall in that community, the black males, Hispanic males, right? Yep. Obviously, other cultures like Polynesian or whatever, right? I think it's pretty unacceptable. It's something that definitely needs more attention. Like I said, you know, I think Brene Brown brings that example up that us as men struggle with vulnerability. Because I know, like, you know, sometimes you hear the examples of, you know, for women, they're brought up with, you need to look like this and in this stuff and that, which is all very true. But also, like, for men, we were told, you know, rub some dirt on it.
Stop being a pussy.
Yeah, don't be a pussy.
Don't be a bitch.
Yeah. You know, crying and being unacceptable and things of that nature, which I think is, you know, a huge step, just like everything else in life that I think that we have made improvements on in the year like 2025. But at the same time, too, I think though it's more accepted and encouraged, I think that there's a lot that it's got to be the right scenario.
Right.
Does it line up with what everybody else wants? Is it lining up with what society says is acceptable or not? Right? You know, things of that nature. So, because you know, that whole anger discussion, the anger is a secondary emotion. A lot of times we're feeling other things, you know, all that jazz. But I don't want to start ranting too much. But
yeah, but I mean, I think it's also important to, you know, put out there. I mean, this is what we do on the daily basis. We work with people's mental health, and we work with people who are struggling with mental health, and in, you know, in another way, it's addiction as well, because addiction is a form of goes hand in hand with mental health. And so I think it's important that we do with a lot of men. So I'll read some statistics here as well. According to Gemini here, we're looking at stigma. Traditional gender roles often pressure men to be stoic and self-reliant. discouraging them from expressing vulnerability or seeking help for mental health issues. Men suffer a lot from depression, anxiety, substance use, PTSD, bipolar. By women, irritability, anger, and risk-taking behaviors may be more prevalent in men. Men die by suicide at a significantly higher rate. There was something about the LGBTQ community on here. And that's one of the things, too, is like, with men's mental health, it's very important. And because whoever made these months, right, like they put it with Pride Month. And I'm not coming down on Pride Month at all. I consider myself an ally. I've been told that I'm an ally. I have quite a few friends that are a member of the LGBTQ community. I went to a Pride in the Park today for the first time. I think that was very fun. It was very informational, and I got to see some cool things and buy some cool things. But I think it's just as I'm growing more, it's just I'm trying to learn more about the community, because we work with a lot of different cultures and things like that too. So I think it's good to broaden your mind. But that was a little side tangent. But I'm just saying, like, they put it like in a society now where like members of the LGBTQ are fighting for their rights, right? And they feel like they're being demonized again. You know, it's kind of gone backwards, right? That's kind of that's just my opinion on like how I view things, right? Like people feel like their rights are being taken away.
I feel it's being
and so like
taken backwards to Trump and something Trump wants to do and whatever else.
And I think they read that they're taking away the suicide hotline for LGBTQ youth and things like that, which is not a good sign, not a good look. So Pride Month's very important. You know, we want to acknowledge that we see you, we acknowledge you, we love you. Well, at least I can't say that. Mike's a homophobe.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's great to say that.
I know, I'm just kidding, but you say it to me all the time. So anyway, this is
I'd
how we
say
joke
on social media.
No, I'm clearing it up now. Mike and I.
No, obviously both supporters and both are human beings who.
If you can zoom in, I have a little bit of a pride thing on my shirt right now. Anyway,
both human beings who believe, love is love, man, and you have every right in this country to live life that you feel is fit.
Shout out Connor, shout out Caitlin, shout out Sierra,
shout out people,
shout out LD, shout out Jay, Corey, shout out Corey. Just a few.
Plenty of
we know a lot more
in the community,
but
still
they put it so like Pride. So what I'm trying to say is that Pride Month's very important, and it's important to be acknowledged. And they said, let's put men's mental health in with that, and which one's going to get more? Which one's going to get more attention?
Yeah, but it almost gets demonized. The people who celebrate Men's Mental Health Awareness Month or like try to talk about it due to it being. I always try to take away.
Pride.
I'm trying to think of the right word. Take away attention from Pride Month. In reality, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
At least for me, I think bringing more attention to Mental Health Awareness Month brings even more attention to LGBTQ communities. Like, for example, the LGBTQ community has one of the highest rates of domestic violence. Has one of the highest rates of suicide.
Shout out Jonathan.
The highest rates of suicide. And obviously there's more than just males in the LGBTQ community, but there's more. Obviously.
So it kind of ties in with like. It says many men in the LGBTQ plus community face unique mental health challenges related to discrimination, stigma, and societal expectations. IQ plus individuals. So that's a new one. What's the I stand for?
I have no idea.
Individuals experience higher rates of depression, anxiety, and suicide attempts are most prevalent among young adults. So which from what I've heard is from a few people is around the time they kind of come out.
Yeah,
being young adults or in their
struggling
late
with,
teens potentially.
Well, it goes back to that vulnerability thing, right? Is not being vulnerable influences shame and influences those shameful thoughts. And that, as we all know, guilt is the feeling of I did something bad. Shame is the feeling I did something bad, so I am bad, right?
Yeah.
So, and let's be honest about it, like. And it's something that me and you have even discussed in the past. Of it is kind of the societal norm, and thing that's just been ingrained in human beings for a long time. And it's one thing that I think is great about Pride Month, things of that nature, right? Is it's teaching us like, hey man, some people are freaking gay, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying like they're freaking gay, but. Like they're freaking gay, man.
No, like
and
they should be celebrated too.
They should be celebrated too, because that doesn't make them any less right. Is in human history, right? Like me and Allie right now are freaking watching Game of Thrones and Robb Stark. No, not Robb Stark. King Joffrey. That's who it was.
I heard he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, King Joffrey. He does suck. Almost said Robb Stark.
Rob.
Yeah.
Jr.
Yeah. Oh, Robb Stark is also in the MCU. He plays Homeboy in Eternals, but the Superman knockoff.
Yeah. Icarus.
Yeah. He plays Robb Stark in the show.
That's a good movie up until you find out the Earth's not actually going to be destroyed, and then it kind of takes
it really does make it pointless. It's really not that bad either.
Yeah.
Like it really isn't, but it's not great either.
It's frustrating.
But like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
One of the brothers of the original king, who's trying to potentially fight for the throne and all that kind of stuff, is gay.
Oh, okay.
And once it coming out, I'm pretty sure everybody kind of figures out that he was gay. And
They killed him.
King Joffrey says about how like he wants to punish him for death due to him being homophobic, or not. King Joffrey being homophobic, but being homosexual or whatever.
Yeah.
And and I know like
I think this go by gay.
huh?
I think homosexual is a derogatory.
No, that's the term, sir.
I've just heard from a few people.
Well,
Okay,
that's
a
derogatory.
disclaimer. Okay, I'm putting a disclaimer out there.
If that's derogatory, then that's the way they feel, and that's acceptable. But
Just putting it out there.
yeah,
We're an inclusive podcast.
we are very inclusive.
Yeah.
That's why I said that's how they feel, and that's
Okay.
acceptable.
I'm just putting a disclaimer out there.
There's a difference between fact and feelings.
True.
But yeah, let's talk about that. And back then, they slaughtered them for that. There's countries out there, a lot of countries out there who still do things of that nature.
Yep.
And luckily, here in America, we don't do that. There's definitely some other underlying, more like almost like subconscious things that still take place against the community. But
Yeah.
but still, obviously, we're bringing that whole thing up and just like kind of pointing that part out. So obviously, they were like demonized for a long time just because they didn't fit the societal norm of a man and woman. Which, I mean, sure, whatever. But at the same time, who cares?
Yeah.
Let them live their life. Let them be happy. Let them love just like how me or you get to love our partners.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I agree. But yeah. So, happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Happy
Absolutely.
Pride Month.
Absolutely.
Everybody. If I may, I told you this story probably a little bit, but I don't know. So one of the reasons why I want to do this too is when I kind of put my story out there, something I dealt with this past year. So basically, I told you this, right?
I'm sure you told me most of it, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I severely underestimated how much time and effort it would take to do 5 master's level classes and full-time work, which I do a lot at work. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying I do a lot. And I'm relied upon, which is nice. But then I also have, as Mike likes to say, 18 kids.
You have 18 kids.
I have 18 kids and a family. And it mentally broke me down this year. And I was probably the lowest I've ever been, to a point where, I'm just going to go out and say I wanted to kill myself. And not that I wanted to. I'll rephrase that. I didn't want to, because I wouldn't.
So are you rephrasing this because you're scared of being vulnerable right
No,
now?
I'm not being, no,
Or you
no,
don't want people to
no.
judge you thinking you're going the wrong way?
No.
Or are you actually
No,
changing
no.
it so you're actually communicating the right way?
Let me get what I'm saying.
I'm challenging you in that
You're not
direction.
challenging me. I'm challenging myself.
No, I'm challenging you.
Anyway, grown-ups are talking at this point.
Oh, that's
So,
right. Yeah, when you get your master's, you can talk.
yeah, well, when you have kids, you can talk to me, okay? Anyway.
I got 2 dogs.
That doesn't count.
Oh, now are you invalidating the way I feel?
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, dog dad, my
It's
bad.
almost like it's meant
Yeah,
to-
happy late Father's Day to you, dog dad. Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
By the way, you have a dog and an adopted dog. Dog fucking
bonus dog?
Otto likes me more than he likes you.
Yeah, okay,
so.
good.
No, but so I didn't want to. So I mean, like I said, I didn't want to, which is why I didn't do it. Because usually, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. Like, I mean, everybody knows about me. You can ask my wife. If I set my mind to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to follow through. I didn't want to. What it was is I just pondered what life would be, or what I would feel like if I was dead. It'd be nice. It would have been peaceful. It would have been calm. And it felt fantastic. But I was struggling for a long time. But a lot of times people were, and the gym. That's one thing too, is like the gym really fell off for me. And this week was the first time in like months where I've actually gone 4 days. Which is, I go 4 days anyway, but but when I was struggling, I was scared to reach out, and I thought I just needed to power through. I knew that the end of the semester would come and I would just get out of it, but it almost cost me a lot of things. It almost cost me my marriage, to be honest. We're in couples counseling now, which is cool. I'm in therapy now by myself, which is cool. I'll put it out there. I don't give a fuck. I mean, we almost ended it. It probably was going that way because I was just a fucking shell of myself. But I was putting on a face because, again, I was scared to be vulnerable in those moments. And I was talking to some people, but not what I needed. So I decided to go to therapy and talk about it, which I'm helped a lot. And like couples therapy has helped a lot as well. So don't be scared to go to therapy if you're a man or a woman or whatever you identify as, or whoever you identify as. You know, therapy is crucial. It's very important, to be honest, as well. I'm really learning a lot about myself. It's scary, but it's cool at the same time. So that's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, I mean, it's just. I mean, I will say, like, during that time, like, a lot of people are like, man, I don't know how you do it. You're just handling everything so well. And like, you're just like, people are like, oh man, you're a Superman. And it's like, yeah. So part of me was like, I can't let people down either. Like, I have to inspire hope. Like, that's what Superman does. And we're about to go see Superman here in 2 weeks. Opening night, hopefully. But, so Superman inspires hope in people. And that's what I want to do. Just inspire people and be hopeful and be optimistic. So I had to pretend to be that. While on the outside, in the inside, I was fucking in a pit of hell that I'd climb out of. Sounds dramatic, but it's just like, it's crazy, like, that I can actually openly talk about it now and be, it's whatever, without making me cry. Because it was a scary time. I talked to you a lot about it too. But it was a scary place to be in.
Well, I think even in this story, right, kind of showing still, like, some of the ingrained negative messages that we have about ourselves, the way we're saying, right? You're telling your story, what you've gone through, what you felt, and you still threw some, like, those, like, qualifier statements in there, like, oh, no, it sounds dramatic. I didn't want to kill myself, right? Still trying to justify that, like I'm not as weak as what I felt.
Right. No, you're right. Yeah. But I didn't want to.
Here you go again, still trying to.
Saying I didn't want to. I think that's what make that perfectly clear.
Yeah, but I think you're still trying to, like, make it make sense, make sure people.
Comment down below what you think.
I mean, I'm just saying, because in reality, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you wanted to or you didn't want to, whatever. It's just saying how you feel. Like I've struggled with thoughts before.
Yeah.
Like, sure, maybe I didn't want to kill myself, but I had the thoughts of, like, damn, it would be a hell of a lot easier if I did.
Yeah. I think that's two separate things. But I mean, you may disagree. That's fine. I view it two different ways. That's the way I just view it. Because I think there's a difference between wanting to and just having thoughts about it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, it's like, man, I thought about, going to Chicago today.
Yeah, but
did I want to? No.
Yeah, but I think you're confusing the word of, like, want and, like, intent. Like, I didn't.
That's what I'm saying.
I never intended on, like,
right.
Like, that I was gonna go kill myself.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But, like, my brain was like, hey, man, maybe you should think about maybe doing it.
You should think about it. Yeah. Like today, today, I thought about going to the Cubs game. But did I want to? No, because I knew I wouldn't have time and I wouldn't be able to get the work day off. So it'd been a waste of time.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Comment down below.
Hit the ring. Hit the bell.
Yeah, hit the bell. Press subscribe.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll start pumping these out again. Not really necessarily pumping them out, but I would like to do some more interviews with people. So hopefully we can get, like, Kelsey and stuff like that. But
Kelsey on again and some other stuff.
Maybe go back to the OG guest Owen, see how he's doing. Check in, get TD.
Yeah, TD on again.
Yeah.
That would have been cool to get TD on too. Obviously go follow TD, TD Smash, your regular strength, Julius Maddox, Midwest Con. On the good old Instagram, I can't remember their men's mental health page.
It's like men's
sons of a beast. Yeah, Sons of a Beast.
Yep.
It's a Instagram account and organization that the three of them run. I believe CT Fletcher is also involved about men's mental health, and they actually do some events. Like, they had an event in Indy last weekend, I think, where they went and talked to some people at Indy City Barbell and had some open communication with some of those people with mental health, and I think they recorded a podcast as well. So check that out. Look into it. Research it. We didn't obviously do our research before talking about it, but that's something I was thinking about as well this morning as I was taking my trash out in my old Gator.
Yeah.
And
got a beautiful property. Well, your girlfriend is. Your girlfriend's doing
yeah, I know. Like, that's the thing too. Something I'll kind of share. I'll be honest. Like, I've kind of struggled lately with the feelings of, like, anxiety, right? Of, like, and, like, depression. Just as we've kind of openly talked a lot about our mental health stuff on the podcast over the years, but this is me. Mine always goes back to feelings of self-doubt, feelings of not being good enough, things of that nature. A lot of you guys know a single for a very long time, and Allie and I have been together 8, almost 9 months now, and been living together since March. Essentially, I moved out of my house.
You need to put a ring on it.
Yeah, been out of my house since March 8th of this year.
God, it's been that long already.
Yeah, and just to these two over here, you guys saw. You guys all know Finn, and
You can kinda see Finn.
I think Otto, you guys saw for a second.
Yeah, you guys almost saw his butthole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we got him out of the way, just tried to just not see that chocolate starfish.
Chocolate starfish.
Shout out
hot
Fred
dog
Durst.
flavored water. Here we go.
Yeah, shout out Fred Durst. But for a couple of weeks, I was at my parents to give them time to be acquainted, just because Otto is a reactive dog.
He's the nicest dog in the world.
But he is the sweetest, kindest baby, which I think is true for a lot of us men. Right? Otto was a stray in the Indy, and Allie rescued him. So great story there.
Shout out, Allie.
Absolutely, shout out. Otto's doing great. He's my buddy, man. Him and Finn are freaking brothers. They definitely egg each other on to get each other in trouble, without a doubt. And they love sprinting outside in the big ass backyard and looking for turkeys and deer and whatever else. But I've been here essentially right after St. Patty's Day. Maybe like that. I was here like a week and a half before she went. She did a trip to Florida with her brother, sister-in-law, and their kids, and I was here for like a week and a half, and they went like February 1st or March 31st, something like that. I don't even know if it was 31 days in March. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but you guys know what I'm saying. I was here for like a week and a half before she went on that. So it's been about right at like 3 months, a little over 3 months or so since I've lived here full time. Because even during that 2 weeks I was at mom and dad's, I was here most of the time. But either way, like life's been great. I sold my house, paid off pretty much all of my debt outside of my car, and life's been great. But my anxiety's been up a little bit at times, not all the time. But it's almost kind of like life's so great right now that I'm like scared, of like me messing up. So I've been a little. My anxiety's been up a little bit about that lately, but I'm trying to remember that Allie and I have a great relationship, and we're each other's people, and that's what matters, and things are always going to have.
Marry her.
The game plan, obviously, douche. I live here. Sold my house to move in here, so got not any plan B's there.
Yeah. Contraception.
Yeah, and not the pill. I'm talking about like as in regards to actual like plan A, plan B, option B, whatever you want to call. But life's been really great. And I think this kind of goes back to like, and obviously you guys all know like I'm a therapist, and something I reference a lot for a lot of people is this song by NF called "Happy," where those of us who were so used to chaos, when we actually have the moments of happiness or moments of things going really well, we get scared because we're not used to it. It's uncomfy for us because the chaos, bullshit, depression, whatever, right, is what's comfy, is what's normal. And in reality, that's all bullshit. Like I'll be honest too. Lately, I haven't talked to mom much because I've gotten kind of crappy with her a few times.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with it. You gotten crappy with me a few times too, but
it happens.
And I think a big part of it is like life is so good, life is so positive right now. And my family, things can be chaos. And I think sometimes I don't talk to her because I don't want to hear about the crap in our family. And I don't know, but that's going to have my anxiety up a little bit. But
No, I mean I feel that because like it's easy to get sucked into the negativity of it, you know, especially like when you are riding so high and life is so fucking good. You're just like, why? Like
Yeah.
I don't, like I truly I don't give a fuck about the negativity. Like why do you involve? It doesn't involve me. So like,
Yeah.
I get it. I get
Right.
it.
Well, and that's the thing too. Is like, you know, even like, I don't know. I think like my brain too also tries to like try to convince myself of like why I don't deserve like a good life too.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Like bullshit past mistakes and whatever, but like we all, everybody has stupid fucking mistakes. I like go back and like, God damn, that's so dumb of me.
Yeah.
But,
But I mean, you can't go back and change it. So I mean, it's
no,
not,
exactly. So worrying about it, thinking about it is nothing. There's no big deal.
A little 10-80-10.
Yeah, exactly.
10% past, 10% future, 80% present. Focus on the now. Be mindful. Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Don Johnson.
But
But
I will say, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, you know, we all deserve happiness. We all deserve good things. We all are all worth it.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
Well, I think, and I told you this before, and like I'm gonna use me as an example as well. Is like for me, I was gonna touch on this coming out of my depression, and like when I really had those suicide ideations, things like that. I ended the semester the 4.0, which was fucking awesome because that was my goal out of that semester. So perfect across the board. Then I bought a brand new truck. And like the truck, I've been wanting a Chevy Silverado for a long time. That was my dream truck. And yes, I'm leasing it, so Mike's gonna shit on me for it.
I wasn't gonna say nothing about that.
You shit on me the other day for it.
Yeah, with like our friends and confidence.
Yeah, no, but I am leasing it.
Yeah,
but
so you fucking poor bitch.
my plan is to probably buy. I think I'm gonna buy it out because I do get attached to things pretty quickly and people in general. But so shout out to all the homies. But like driving a truck, you know, and like for those of you who know me, I had a really small car, and I've had a lot of small cars because I've had to settle for things, and it's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, being financially responsible. You can afford what you can afford, and so I've had a lot of small cars, and I felt a lot like, you know, the running joke for me was always like Mr. Incredible, and like remember if you guys have seen The Incredibles, when he's in the small car driving to this fucking bullshit insurance job. That's how I felt, and then I'm in this truck, and it's just lifted off the ground, and it's just like you just feel like more like. It's a massive self-confidence boost, right? Because like being in the small car, I did feel, admittedly, I did feel emasculated.
Yeah, it's a toxic masculinity.
Yeah, so like I feel like a bit of a bitch, and I think that tied in a lot to how I was feeling about myself too. On top of like the massive weight gain and stuff like that, but yeah. So I mean, the truck just is a freaking like I just feel more like I don't want to say manly because I think it's perpetuating stereotypes here, but it's like I just feel more confident, and I think people notice, and I think people have noticed.
Oh, you bought something for yourself that you've always wanted,
and so that's exactly right. So like that's what I'm saying is like, and that one thing I've told you before too is I feel like I noticed for you and kind of me now is that like when we finally like therapy, you chose to go to therapy, and you said you only did like 6 sessions. Yeah, like that's something that you did, and like you and I are like we're friends because we're kind of almost the same. And whereas like we care about people, we want to help people, and a lot of times we put people above ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so I think when we finally did something that was just for us, that could not benefit anybody else but us, that's when life started getting better.
No, absolutely. And this is something I honestly I had a discussion with somebody the other day as well. It wasn't in therapy, but it was just a friend to friend having a conversation about like even like the church. Because I think this is something that kind of relates even just to, you know, and obviously not trying to. I mean, we're both believers and we love Jesus and stuff, but
yes,
when it comes to God, you know, I think there's a lot of stuff that us as Christians get very wrong. I shouldn't say us because like some of the shit like Pride Month, right? Some Christians aren't going to be happy about us talking about Pride Month, but you know, I think Jesus loves the gays, so.
It's a wild statement.
Jesus does love the gays. Jesus loves everybody.
You put emphasis on the gays like that, though.
The gays?
You know what's funny? I will say, like, being at Pride in the Park, though, I was with our friend Danielle and our friend Jonathan, shout out, and our new coworker Creela and Liz, the case manager. You don't know him that much.
I know Liz very well.
Oh, do you?
I worked with Liz for 2 years.
Oh, okay. So
at
then,
DCS.
like Danielle and Jonathan,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of I don't know what denomination they were, but like
Yeah, people protesting, I'm sure.
No.
Oh, okay.
There was churches that had booths set up,
Yeah.
and so I was like, I wonder, I said, I wish more I wish people could see this part more.
Absolutely. Instead
Where
of
it's like
Westboro Baptist,
right?
And God hates fags and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a bad word, but
That's what they were saying, which is fucking ridiculous.
I know, but still a bad word.
God hates figs.
Fig Newtons.
But they also did that as
Loki,
well.
why does Fig Newtons on fire right now? Anyway,
I haven't had a fig Newton in years, but they also did that as well.
I know they do.
So I'm sharing examples of what they
No,
were saying.
I know,
Not
but-
saying what we believe or what we
Correct, but I was just like, I looked at Jonathan and Danielle. I was just like, why can't people see more of that? Whereas like true Christianity, like loving of Jesus, and is like loving everyone and being
Absolutely.
inclusive and things like that.
Absolutely.
So like I see a lot of things where like people like Jesus would be called woke nowadays, and it's like it is kind of true, but it's like
Yeah, it probably would.
like the people who claim to be Christians, I think a lot of them would not fall in line.
No,
Like
absolutely.
they'd be
Not.
more like the Pharisees.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
but we do live in a very wild and wacky world,
Yeah.
to put it lightly.
Absolutely, but this is kind of the, I was getting to is, I feel like a lot of times, us as Christians, we get told about just praying about it and let God deal with it,
Yeah.
which isn't necessarily the worst advice in the world, but also there's plenty of times in the Bible where let's even talk about Moses, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly which story, and it's because I'm tired. But the story there's a battle going on, and Moses is raising his hands, and while he has his hands raising, they're winning the battle and demolishing them. But every time he gets tired, his hands start to fall.
Yeah,
as his hands are falling, they start to lose.
Yep.
So then a couple people start helping him hold his hands up to help fight the war, right? God didn't say, raise your hands real quick and then we'll be good to go,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's what we expect sometimes as human beings is quick fixes,
Yep.
right? It's and this also ties back into mental health, right? Is and I'll get into that a little bit deeper in a second, but it's about doing what you need to do. God gives you the opportunity and the resources to do something. It's about you doing it, right? It's about that daily decision making, right? It's choosing every day that I'm worth it, choosing every day that I want to have a loving family. It's choosing every day that I want to have a loving relationship. It's choosing every day that I want to continue to be a therapist, or I want to continue to go to school or be a group facilitator, whatever else, right? It's continuing to make those decisions. And remember who you are, right? And I think that's a lot of time. It goes back to the mental health thing. Is something we discussed before we started this podcast today. Is it's not about titles or ways of describing yourself, right? Look at businesses, right? What makes a business what they are? It's their mission and value statement, which pretty much says this is what I'm doing, and this is what I care about, and that's what makes you who you are. That's what makes you worth it and capable and competent, is knowing I'm Mike and I'm loyal and I'm honest and I like to be caring and I want to help other people, right? That's what makes me who I am. Not that I'm a therapist or I'm an LCSW or that I'm an MSW or that I'm credit card debt free and loan free and whatever else, right? No, that's not. It doesn't make me who I am.
What a flex.
I know, right? That it doesn't make me who I am. It's part of my life experience.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make me who I am. Being a man is what makes me who I am, right? Like,
I'm a man.
Yeah, that's making me who I am, like who I am as a human being, and what I do and what I care about is what makes me who I am. Right?
Yeah.
I know it's kind of long-winded. I kind of got all over the place with that, but either way, whatever. But I think it's about, like I said before, it's about doing what matters to you and doing what needs to be done, even when times get tough, right? Like as we deal with all the time in our job, right? It's like, I'm doing great. I heard about these coping skills and I feel great. It's time for me to go home. It's like, no, man. Like that means that you're actually finally starting the process of that you need to be here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I bring up all the time, people, like what happens when you're sick and you need an antibiotic, right? Like if you've got a sinus infection and you're like, get your taste back a little bit, you can actually breathe a little bit. Do you stop taking your antibiotic even though you got 4 days left on your antibiotic? No, because you stop the next day, guess what's going to come back? You're going to have a fucking stuffy nose again. You're not going to be able to breathe.
Yeah.
Keep taking that shit. And those last 4 days, you probably won't feel a single thing, and you're gonna go, I hate taking this medicine, but I don't need it. But no, you fucking do, because there's those unsung things that are still going on that you don't notice, you don't feel.
Yeah.
Right? But
I'm good. Yeah, I've only been here for 4 days, and I'm not even through detox yet. But yeah, I'm good.
Right.
Ready to go.
Yeah, and hey, man, like I tell every client, brother, you've been here 3 days. I would love for you to never need treatment again.
Yeah.
I would love for you to be great,
Put
be
us all on a
sober for 100 years, and for me not to have a job because our places aren't needed anymore.
Yep.
But unfortunately, it's not how life works.
Oh.
There's the few who, honestly, and I put the word luck on it, and because it is luck and it is a blessing, just like how, going to treatment for one time for 3 days and AMAing and you stay sober the rest of your life. That's luck and the blessing.
Yeah.
Just as going to treatment 75 times and continuing to struggle is also a blessing.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's why, when working in this field, I don't know about you, but I've been, like, if I go out and drink a beer, or have a couple beers, if I go out and get drunk in a bar, which I have a couple times, and it made an absolute fool of myself, looking like a jackass. Majority of the time I end up crying because I have a lot of repressed memories and a lot of sad shit that I deal with that when I drink too heavily, it just unlocks that Pandora's box that never comes out. Anyway, so yeah, fun fact about me actually. But yeah, I think that's why we do, when you drink a little bit, I'm looking at just a very fine liquor wall right there that has
doesn't ever get touched.
Yeah, it has a beautiful new pint of vodka. I wouldn't say pint, it's a little bit bigger than a pint, but it's beautifully signed by Cody Rhodes, who I met last week. But not to flex, since we're flying out flexes. 5 big.
Oh my god. Making Mariah want to unfriend us.
Really quick side tangent. I saw this video today where they're on a plane, the dad and the son, and the lady behind them was clearly looking, saw the camera, looked at them, and I think she recognized who they were, and she started hiding her face. You could tell when she was turned to the person, she had her head against the seat, and she could tell she was talking shit, because then she'd be you could just see her fucking running her mouth and shit, because
Oh, sorry your brother died. He gets 5 big things.
yeah,
Boom.
that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, fuck the Costco guys. Because they're cringe as fuck. But, I forgot what I was going with that. Oh, so yeah, so let's say, you drink, I drink. I've been called a hypocrite. Because I work with people who struggle with addiction. And people are like, well, you're a hypocrite. How can you tell somebody not to drink? And it's that's where you get me. I don't tell people not to drink. I tell people, we're very heavily mental health focused. So it's when you are struggling, what can you do instead of drinking or using drugs? There's other things you can do. So that was a very long-winded way to say that people are full of shit, but
Yeah, but also it doesn't really matter. Really, I mean, like, obviously, like, I try to practice what I preach as well, but
yeah.
also, yeah.
But also, I like drinking beer. Sometimes. Yeah, it's alright. But, yeah. So, like I said, happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Happy Pride Month
Absolutely.
to everyone.
Absolutely, because like I said, they go hand in hand, truly.
Yep. Just like peanut butter and ladies. What movie is that from?
Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and ladies. You gonna put peanut butter on a lady? It's a good movie.
Yeah. I walked in the client's room today. It was on, so that's why I was like, so I threw it out there. Or yesterday, I guess, because it's midnight. But yeah, anything else you want to add?
No, I am. Honestly, I'll be honest. I'm pretty cashed out.
Yeah, I will say the last thing before we leave is if you are struggling, ask for help.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to reach out. Develop
Absolutely.
a healthy support system, and find people. That's what saved. Like that's truly what helped me out so much is having people that have an outlet. You know, I talked to you. I talked to my friend Clea. I talked to my friend McKenna. I talked to Scott. Yeah, Scott was. He was, as soon as I was like, mention the word like killing myself, he was like, we're fucking talking. And I was like, I don't want to talk. But he was like, I'm not leaving until you're talking. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So, it was a good friend, man.
Yeah,
I had good friends, other people to talk to.
Absolutely, man. There's plenty of resources out there. Use them.
Yeah.
Google them. You will see a shit ton on there. Obviously, I know Tyler mentioned about the, the suicide hotline. You know, he specifically mentioned the youth LGBTQ one, but there is still the suicide hotline that is still up and running. That is not getting shut down.
I heard they're taking that one away too. Is that
They
true?
are not. No.
Okay.
And that's well, I was going to mention on that earlier, but I don't want to get too political.
I know the LGBTQ one though is being taken away. The youth for the youth.
It's. Yeah, I don't want to get too into that. But yes, the suicide hotline is still a thing. It is still open. It is still. It's not going anywhere. They're not taking that away.
Yeah.
Use it. It's a great resource.
Yeah.
You know, they're there for you to help, and they will give you resources as well in your area. But yeah, use it.
Yep.
Get help.
Talk to us. Reach out. Yeah.
Get some help.
Just stop. Yeah. Have you ever thought about just not being depressed?
I think you ever thought about just not doing that? I do pull that out in therapy sometimes.
You're sad? Just stop it. And be happy instead.
Yeah. I'll never forget the one time I did that to a client where they were like, "Oh, I'm kind of sad today." I'm like, "Well, don't do that."
You ever thought about being happy instead?
Don't do that. You be positive. But no, for real. Obviously, use resources. Reach out to us on our Instagram or YouTube or whatever, man.
Yep. Comment down below.
Samsung, anything, man. Anything that we can give you guys to help if you need it. Your mental health matters. You matter. You survived today, so you can do it again tomorrow.
Don't let the hard days win.
Correct. You survived today, you can do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
You survived yesterday, you can do it again today.
Yeah.
Right. However you want to say it, however you want to look at it.
You are enough.
Absolutely.
Like the hoodie. Like those hoodies.
Absolutely. You are enough. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. The light stays on.
Absolutely. But
it's like a Motel 8. We'll leave a light on for you. Yeah. Wow, what a classic throwback to commercials for that was.
Yeah, Motel 8.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I can't believe you don't know what Coach is.
I don't know.
Comment down below if you know what the show Coach is.
No clue.
It's a football show. You'd like it. It's Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah, I know who that is, but I've never seen the show.
Okay, well, you should
I think you
watch
sent me a clip from it the other day, and you were like, "Loki missed the show," and I'm like, "I have no idea what the show is." But I just liked it because it was friggin' Patrick.
Yeah, I didn't realize he played Patrick. And he also played Marshall's dad in How Much Mother. Which you guys Speaking of therapy, you guys should watch Ted Lasso and Shrinking. Shrinking.
Absolutely.
Did you watch Shrinking all the way through?
Yeah.
You need help me over here, honey? No? Oh, thank God. Hey, Derek. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, or no, it's hey, Derek. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Pam. No, there's no hey,
Derek.
Pam.
No, Derek. We don't like Pam.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, there's no hey, Pam. We don't like Pam. Oh, got it. Eat a dick, Pam.
Shrinking is such a good show. Supposedly Michael J. Fox is going to join the next season.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He's going to be somebody who's in like a Parkinson's support group with Harrison Ford. It's kind of fucked up. It's kind of fucked up.
But I could buy it. I'm not gonna lie. That's
you can buy
fire.
it. This motherfucker Michael J. Fox can't even stand up no more because he's
all
over the place.
I'm sorry, but that's
neurological disorder and shit.
Like that's gonna be. I'm not gonna lie to you. Michael J. Fox with actual Parkinson's. This sounds fucked up, but I think like actual Parkinson's versus Harrison Ford acting like he has Parkinson's. It's gonna be
comedy.
It's gonna feed families for generations. I think. Like it's gonna be low key funny, but it's gonna make me. It's probably gonna be very sad as well.
Absolutely.
You're gonna they'll probably kill off Michael J. Fox at the end or some shit. Like they'll hate each other at first and they'll grow attached just for one of them to die.
And then he'll die.
Yeah.
Exactly. 100%. Jason Segel.
Classic. Fucking classic TV. It's fucking Brett Goldstein, by the way. Not fucking Jason Segel.
Jason Segel is also one of the lead writers.
Oh yeah. He is a great writer though.
Yeah, bitch.
He's a great actor. Okay, we're just rambling on again.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so love you whores. Like I said, Happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Happy Pride Month.
Oh yeah.
Represent.